Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's episode of The Nerd is the Word. I am Josh.
I'm Jeff.
And before we get into today's lovely content, you may have noticed it's the first time you've seen us in,
About
I think,
three
about a
weeks
month.
ago. Yeah.
We did not forget about the podcast. We were not neglecting it. It was a multitude of just we were going to take off one weekend, and the next was a holiday weekend. The next, he was out of town, and the next it was 4th of July. It was just like, wow, a lot of shit happens in
Yeah.
June. So no, we were not forgetting, and plus we're working on a new kind of marketing and management on the channel and all that. So we got a lot of stuff working, but no, we didn't forget about you guys. It was just weekends are a lot harder than I thought. But that's where we're with. Excuse me. It is a morning. I woke up early. I need coffee. In my Friday the 13th mug. But no, yeah, so we missed you guys. We missed doing episodes. We're back, and yeah, so how are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. We've been continuing with. We finally got back onto the timeline rewatch.
Yeah.
So that's been nice. We're all the way up to we just finished Infinity War. So I guess all that we have left, I think, really is Endgame, because I don't think there were movies that came out in between, but we watched all those previous.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So I
think all
think
you
all we
guys
have left
Endgame,
is Endgame.
well, Endgame and Homecoming, or not Homecoming, Far From Home.
Well, apparently those aren't on Disney Plus.
Well, you know what they are on? Voodoo, and I'll give you my Voodoo if you want it. No, Voodoo is actually probably one of my favorite things I've ever gotten. It's when you get the DVD and
Mhm.
the digital DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah, you can put the digital in that. Yeah.
Yeah, I every time I get a digital, I throw it straight on there, and bliss. No, yeah. What have we been doing? God, I finished Arkham Knight. I finished the story mode, all the side missions, all the DLC. I'm at 140% completion. I have to go back and redo the whole story mode in New Game Plus to get the gold bat symbol suit,
Hmm.
the final suit you can collect in that game. So yeah, that's a thing that's happening. I was gonna tell you before we recorded, but I wanted to see your reaction. Do you remember? It was in one of our first episodes. I told you about this little movie called Willy's Wonderland. It had Nicolas Cage in it.
No, but it already sounds weird.
All right, so you know the basic premise of Five Nights at Freddy's, like you know what it is and all that.
No.
Okay, give you the basic premise: Five Nights at Freddy's, possessed animatronics. You're a security guard, and they try and kill you, and you just have to not die.
Okay.
That's the that's every one of those games in that series. Same thing. Well, someone decided to make a movie, which you're aware of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books and all that.
Yeah.
Same company made this movie. I saw that and I was just like, am I going to feel heartwarmed at the end of this? But it's a movie about Nicolas Cage. And apparently, like, this town is like a cult, and they're like, they bring people in and they kill them to worship these like weird animatronic like demon people or whatever. That part was confusing. But the basic thing was the dude slashes tires and he didn't know about it. And he's like, I'll pay to get your tires fixed if you clean up this entire place. And the ploy is they go in there, they clean, they die, and they just find another person. But Nicolas Cage, who doesn't say a single word in the entire movie, he doesn't say one thing. He does like, like, of course, the noises you're going to make. But
You think he got paid by the word?
from that movie, I think he got paid by the grunt. but like he has a bag full of sodas that I'm guessing is like fruit punch rock stars. And he plays pinball and dances while he's playing pinball, and it's the most amazing thing you've ever seen. Watching Nicolas Cage play pinball and go, and you're just like, oh,
That's high
and like he,
praise.
the dude before he leaves goes, or make sure you take breaks and all that. And Nicolas Cage is like religiously taking breaks, like that. And if you don't want to hear this, spoilers, or it's not, oh, it's not really going to spoil anything. There's a part when some of the side characters jump in and they're trying to save him, and he's going to kill his animatronic, and his watch goes off, and he looks at it. He opens a switchblade, gives it an old girl, turns around, and goes in the break room, and just sits down, drinks soda, and plays pinball.
Hey,
It
when it's break time,
it's
it's
break
break
time.
time.
Well, I think we showed Walmart that, like, yeah. But no, it was a good movie, but it was one of those where you're just like, yeah, he doesn't say a single word. He has a nice Camaro though. He has a nice ass Camaro. But yeah, so Willy's
Okay.
Wonderland, if you feel like watching it, it's
Nope.
it's not a bad way to spend an hour and a half. It's pretty funny because he actually gets the place clean, which is the funniest part. Like he's like just cleaning, and then he'll go and like tear off an animatronic's head, mop up, and keep cleaning. Like he is the best housekeeper. But
No,
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 other
I clean. I clean.
yeah, no, I need new index. But yeah, other than that, I mean, we've just been watching movies, man. I mean, we've been watching Gotham,
Mm-hmm.
which it has its parts in it that I kind of enjoy. I mean, the show is not a great show
No, not at all.
at all, but it has some moments where it's like, okay, that's a cool little nod, or wow, I didn't expect them to put the electrocutioner in season one. I didn't expect him to be in any of the seasons.
Well, I mean, what were you going to do? It's a show about Bruce Wayne when he's 10. It's
Yeah,
not like you
yeah,
can show him fighting crime.
yeah. That it's not a show that I would have made if they were like, hey, if you could choose one way to play Batman, what would you do? Kid, no,
No,
not what I
no,
would do.
no. Huh.
Um,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
what is he, like the school hall police? Like, how does he fight crime?
I just think it's funny that there's a part in like one of the early episodes where Thomas Elliot, who they screwed up by the way, because him and Bruce Wayne are supposed to be best friends, and he goes on to be Hush, and in this he's just kind of an ass. And Alfred gives Bruce Wayne a watch, and Bruce Wayne just beats this dude with a watch, and it's like, what just happened now? And then the dude's like, "You let him beat me," and Alfred's like, "Yeah, I let him," and it's like, CPS.
See, what was supposed to happen was he was supposed to say, "You were supposed to watch out for me."
It is too early for one of those, man. It is way too early. Ugh. But no, yeah, no, that's all we've been doing. We've been watching movies, and we watched a documentary on horror movies in the '80s. But no,
Oh God!
that's
Apparently, it's too early for your internet too. Jesus.
yeah, my internet is it's not happy this morning. But no, haven't watched Black Widow yet. We're waiting for that until Wednesday. Oh, did you freeze?
No, I'm still here.
No, you didn't freeze. Your face was just staying the same for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, because I'm trying to decipher your screen. That's all.
No, yeah.
You look like a pixelated mess from an early '90s James Bond video game. So
Oh,
forgive
that
me.
sounds awesome.
Forgive me. But what we both have been watching is Loki.
Oh, that is so damn good. Look, the second they
Also,
announced,
also on Wednesday,
yeah,
series finale.
the second they announced the Loki show, I knew I was gonna love it. I knew I was gonna be so happy because Tom Hiddleston is a great actor. This show has just it's just been twists and turns all throughout, and I'm here for it. I was here for it in the beginning. I'm here for it now. I'm sad to see it end, but all great things must come to an end.
Well, since we haven't been here while these have been going on, why don't we just run through like episode by episode and just give like little thoughts? And so we already covered the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So the second episode was the one where so that was the one where Mobius and Loki are set out to search for the variant Loki, who we later learn in that episode is Sylvie. I believe we learn. No, we don't learn till episode 3, but she gets put in the credits as Sylvie for episode 2.
Which, by the way, episode 2. Can we just acknowledge the fact that everyone is using "Hero" as a song right now? I need a
Yeah.
hero. I mean,
I so
Loki did it in the trailer. Guardians, the Guardians game trailer. Loki. Look,
so
that song is making bank right now.
so it was funny because I remember watching the Fat Man Beyond whenever like all that came out like right at the same time,
Yeah.
and Kevin Kevin put it into perspective that when all of these things were getting made was right around the time that that little fan edit of the Luke Skywalker entrance in The
Oh yeah.
Mandalorian with that song came out. And so it was probably like fresh on everybody's minds when they were actually going through and starting to piece all this together. And I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like,
I can
and then
see
they all just happened to come out within a week of each other.
that. It's I we watched that episode and I sat there. I was laughing. And Serena's like, "What?" And I paused it. I was like, "Look, this had that song, this had that song, this had that song." I was like, and this has all been released within a week. And she just goes, and I was like, yeah, that's a thing that happened. But see, I forgot about that fan edit for half a second. Oh, I love it. That is still amazing. Watching him just,
Yeah, that was,
yeah.
which is probably why it ended up in so many things. Everybody was like, oh, yes, I love that. Also, I mean, it's a good song and it fits. But
It's a great song, but it's also like, yeah, there's a reason why everyone's chosen this song. But no,
uh,
the salad. I still think in that episode, that salad part where he's like, "This is my lunch," and look, he's just picking up his salad. That is just.
is this your lunch
I,
or is this Asgard?
uh, I loved it. I love when he goes back to Pompeii, and he's like, just telling everyone, and Moby's like,
You're all going to die.
Moby's just sitting there like, "Oh, we're screwed."
And then nothing happens. He's like, oh.
I loved it, and it was, and that's what I've loved about the show is Loki as a character. You never know what you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You think you know, and then it's okay. It's gonna be something over here,
Yeah.
and that's what this show has been. It's been a just when you think you know what's gonna happen, something changes.
Aha.
Yeah, pulled all sneaky on you.
We'll
And
get to those in a in a few episodes of the old sneaky.
yeah,
But the episode ends with them tracking down the variant Loki in the Rocks Cart store. So it's a nod to the comics, and also I was like, oh god, it's Walmart.
yeah, yeah. I looked. I was like, that looks so familiar. I looked and I was like, oh, I gotta be there in like 12 hours.
Oh, but it was. I thought that was a great way to like introduce her powers as well,
Oh yeah,
and it kind of showed that even though Loki's like different, he's still kind of the same when he goes through when he goes through like the door.
yeah.
And so you still like you kind of think that he's like switched sides again, but you don't know, and you're just kind of
And that is, it's like I said earlier, you never know what you're going to get. That is one thing I've loved about Loki. Watching him go through the movies was when you think like in the Dark World, you have your thoughts on the Dark World. I know you do. I know. But like in the Dark World, when you think he sacrificed himself for Thor and he's turned over a new leaf. No, he didn't. He's sitting on the throne. I mean,
welcome to Jurassic Loki. For the people who don't get that joke, it's because Sam Neill plays Odin in at the beginning of Ragnarok when they're recapping the events that happened at the end of Thor:
and
The
Matt
Dark World.
Damon played Loki.
And the other Hemsworth was Thor. That was the one that killed me. It was
What I think is funny is Matt Damon played Loki, but Matt Damon has also played Loki.
Yeah. No, yeah, that was the joke. That was
Which,
the reference.
yes, and every time I get it, I just go, oh, that's a dogma joke right there. That's what that is. That's straight dogma.
They even made reference to that in a reboot where he talked about playing Loki before it was cool.
Yeah. I love that. You just got touched by an angel, son. I love that. But no, yeah, so you watch the door open, she kind of looks back and you're like, is that an invitation to come join her? She's going to show him everything he doesn't know. And then you think for half a second that it's just going to close and he's going to be like, we'll get her in the next episode. And then he's just like, got out and just walks through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and then it ended on that like shot of Mobius, and it was just like, oh.
I did like with the daggers and the here, absolutely not. It just takes the daggers from him. I loved it. Oh, but no, I love this show, man. I hate to see it end. And I'm almost 1,000% sure we're not going to get a season 2 or anything.
No, none of. I honestly, if any of these shows get a season 2, I would actually be surprised if literally any of them get a season 2. Basically, they're working like it's a story that's too long to be a movie, but they still want to give it its justice. So they've figured out a way to make longer stories than movies, right?
And it's worked.
So basically, all of these shows have just been like 5-hour long movies that they've chopped up into like increments and then spoon fed to you. Because like with WandaVision, it was like 30-minute episodes for like the first like 3 or 4, and then like
I think
it started kind of ramping up in terms of time, yeah. So it ended up being about like 5.5 hours or something like that, just right around like 5.5 to 6.
Yeah, and then
both of these are 6-episode runs where it's like 45 to 55-minute episodes. So you're looking at still like, like 5.5 hours, something like that. So like they basically found a way to make longer cut movies for like one story without it being a movie. So to me, none of these are ever going to get like a second season. Now you might see the characters again in another show, but none of these shows are ever going to get a second season. Like they're not set up to be that way.
Yeah, I know.
Because like, what are you supposed to do to follow up like a WandaVision? Like, how are you supposed to make a season 2 of that?
Exactly.
Do it again? Like
that would. I'm laughing, but that would be so messed up if Marvel was like, "Hey, remember all this growth and all that Wanda did? Yeah, let's make her do it again." Just like you remember when you saw her break down because of the deed. Yeah, let's see it again. No, I mean I'm gonna watch WandaVision again, and I will still cry the second she turns off the light and Vision turns it back on.
Well, so like now, like it just going back to like we're doing the timeline order. Like now, they fit into the timeline somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So as of now, they just have them kind of like in order after Endgame. But
Yeah.
as more things come out, now that we have, I was just looking this up. We have Shang-Chi, we have the Eternals,
Mm-hmm.
No Way Home, and Doctor Strange coming up, Thor, Love
They
and
they
Thunder, all that.
they were. I don't know if I shared it onto the Facebook page for the podcast, but they released the No Way Home pops. Oh, they look so good. They gave. Have you seen them?
No.
They gave Spider Man one of his new suit. Let me see if I can. I have literally four right here. Let me just grab them. All right. Instead of like the red and blue and all that,
Hmm.
it is straight black, and the webbing is gold.
Oh, so he's Night Monkey again.
Yeah. No, they did that. I thought one of his suits has like a sigil where you're
Hmm.
like, oh, okay, so does he have a sling ring or something? Like that's gonna be kind of hard to thwip when you're just like, you can't. Oh, I can't wait, man. They released the Doctor Strange ones, and I think he's wearing like like sweatpants. It looks so great. It looks so great. I can't wait for that movie. But yeah, I mean, yeah. What you said, Shang Chi?
Yeah, like the next two things to come out are Shang-Chi and the Eternals. So we have Shang-Chi uh, September the 3rd, it looks like, and then
Mm-hmm.
Eternals November the 5th. And then you have Spider-Man
I think that's what December. I
as
think it's
is
Christmas release.
December. So if I had to guess, we probably get Hawkeye probably in October,
Probably.
just because you have a September release, a November release, and then nothing in October.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
probably
Hawkeye.
going to get Hawkeye somewhere in October, and then you have like that December release with like Spider-Man, but I can still see him given like two things in December just because of like one thing like later on in the year, like December.
Yeah,
Because
but
Miss Marvel
also,
says late 2021, but like where else are you gonna like really fit it in?
yeah.
Because
And
you've already got What If coming out in August.
is there a release date for the next season of Mando? I don't think they've done anything with Mando.
Uh, I think that is a December release.
I was thinking it had to be
Mandalorian.
around there. And then you got the Book of Boba Fett that comes out next year though, right? I think, or it's got to be either this year or next year.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's see here. It says 2022.
For Mando,
Yeah.
Book of Boba Fett saying first episodes should be in December 2021.
So they probably have Book of Boba Fett taking over that Mandalorian time, and so they
Probably.
probably just had to push back Mando to give each one like time in the limelight.
Probably, which I mean, and I'm sure there's going to be some time between Mando, the ending of season 2 and the beginning of season
Yeah,
3.
they still haven't even they haven't even started filming, according
Yeah,
to
I think they have been
both
filming.
Pedro Pascal and uh, and Lucasfilm. Neither have said anything about the fact that they started, because normally like we would have heard that they would have
Yeah,
gone
normally
out to start.
we probably would have gotten a trailer within the next couple weeks if they would have done anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure Book of Boba Fett. I think that was the whole thing was going to take the place because I don't see any story happening between the ending of season 2 4. I think there might be some time that they're going to do. You know what I mean?
I mean, we'll
I don't
find
know.
out.
I'm not a writer. I have no idea. Well, I'm not a writer for them. But I mean, that kind of feels like the Star Wars way they would do. You know, Grogu went off to become a Jedi, so they're gonna wait some time.
All right,
But
but now that we've had our tangent, Well, let's
Yeah,
get back
with our tangent,
to. We
let's
got
come
some
back.
more episodes of Loki to go over.
Yeah,
Uh, so then we go on to episode 3, where we find out that the variant Loki's name is Sylvie, who it's a reference to both uh, Lady Loki and kind of the Enchantress. They kind of put it in together as one. It seems
yeah,
like for this. Um, and then they end up on. So you see them going into the TVA. There's like a quick little fight scene, and then Loki blips them out of there to just like a random like event. It turns out that it is Lamentus, which apparently from the comics is like something that's like controlled by like Xandar.
yeah.
So I think it's funny that that could be. So we know that Xandar kind of got wrecked by Thanos.
Yeah,
So maybe like this whole planet dying could be like a result of like finally, Xandar has not been there for so long that their little out planet starts to crumble as well.
yeah, yeah.
And then that's kind of like why everything's going wacky there. So I thought that was kind of neat that it could have tied back into things that we haven't seen yet for old boy that I think we're gonna get in Guardians 3. At least that was the original plan. I don't know
Talking
if
about
it's
Nova.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think I know that was in the original plan, but I don't know if it's still gonna happen now. But
yeah. I'm not sure if yeah, I'm not sure if that's still supposed to happen, but I do remember hearing that Nova was pretty much he was going to be introduced in Guardians 3, which look, I would love to get Nova because Nova's always been kind of a cool character. I don't know much about because and as you and most people know, I don't know much about like the past of Marvel. I know enough to, be when they show something, okay, that's who this is. But, I'm a DC guy.
you're conversational, not fluent.
Yeah, with Marvel. I'm conversational. With Batman and DC, I can talk you under the table, which is yeah, it's entertaining. Which no, I've been trying to get back into Marvel and getting into the deep history, but you know,
There's a lot there.
there's no. I looked it up. I looked up how long it would. I was bored one night. And it was like, how long would it take to read every Marvel comic ever? And they were like, it would, if you read every day for like 8 hours or 12 hours, something like that, it would take like 15 years or something. It was a ridiculous amount of years where it's like,
Yeah,
huh,
they've had a lot of stuff.
yeah, but no, but yeah, Nova, hope he comes. Anyways, please continue.
Yeah. So we go through. They're trying to find their way off because they need the battery. I love the shot that was like an homage to Kill Bill when they show up at the person's house. She opens the door, boom.
Yeah,
That was I thought that was kind of funny. Um, they both get to show off their powers a little bit, trying to get on the train, just to kind of let you know that they both are like the same person because they both had like
yeah,
they both thought the same way, trying to sneak on. Drunk Loki was quite hilarious.
it is always entertaining to see that. And that's never really a side that we've seen because we've usually seen Loki collected and he's not gonna let anything get in the way. And now it was kind of like, okay, then this he does kind of seem like someone I'd party with. Back in my partying days, I don't party anymore. I'm getting too old for that.
And then so we see the frantic race to get to the ship. We get to see both Loki and we get to see Loki show off some powers that we didn't know he had, which was kind
Yeah,
of cool.
that
But
that is that
it's
is one
kind of
thing.
it's kind of like a journey to discovering like himself. Like you can see like in each episode, like he learns a little bit
Yes,
more, a little bit more.
Yes, exactly. And that's one thing these shows have been doing so great on is watching these characters, like you said, kind of learn more about themselves.
Yeah,
Like with Wanda, it was a lot of learning about herself, but it honestly was a lot more of the
dealing
whole
with dealing with the loss and grief.
yeah. But with in Falcon and Winter Soldier, it was a lot of
Soul.
Sam doing
It was soul searching
yeah, it was
with
Sam doing
both
some
Bucky
deep
and Sam.
digging. It was even Bucky doing a little bit of deep digging.
Yeah, because like Bucky was having to like it was like he was having to find a way to live with his past and like the things that he's done and to kind
Yeah,
of accept that it wasn't really him and
and
kind of give him
it
like
did give
a
you
way to
yeah
move on.
it did give you sorry I'm sorry I cut you off. What did you say?
I was just saying it was like a way to like kind of put it in the past with him, just to kind of
Yeah,
move on from all the Winter Soldier stuff that it's not him anymore.
yeah, and it was a good way of showing like with Bucky, you did this, you can't go back and change it.
Mm-mm.
Stop letting it kill you. Move forward. Stop hating yourself for what you did in the past. You can't control that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, past the past the past, you live in all that. And it really was so great to watch Bucky, he is probably one of my favorite MCU characters because just watching where he's grown and watching that part in I can't remember what episode it was, but in the beginning in Wakanda when she's doing the Winter
Oh
Soldier
yeah, that
sequence,
was like
and he
episode
was
like
just sitting there like,
4, I think.
please don't, I don't want to hurt you, you don't know what you're doing, and she did it, and he was like, and I was like, oh my gosh, my sweet baby boy. But yeah, I mean, that's what these shows have been so great with doing is a lot of deep digging in these characters, letting them figure out who they are, and that's what you see Loki doing right now. Is
Yeah,
him figuring out who the God of Mischief is.
and then and then we flip over to episode 4 because like it ends on the little cliffhanger of them with like the ship gets blown up and they're just kind of like, and then it just like ends.
Yeah,
And then we get episode 4 where I don't know what you would call it if he loves himself like but it's not actually him, like it's a different person like that. I don't know what exactly you call that.
yeah.
but
Um,
but I love how that was the thing that caused the branch timeline was the fact that they were just like they were both kind of like, oh, you're not so bad. And it's like, wait, that's the same.
which is like, it's like, look, this is like the biggest, like, I don't want to say it is a metaphor, and this is just me kind of joking. It's the biggest metaphor for like narcissism, where it's just like, hey, me.
Exactly.
It's kind of like you remember that part. You remember the animated Hercules movie.
Yeah.
You remember that part where I think it's in the beginning where Hades is going through. He's like, I haven't seen this much, or someone I can't remember who. He's like, I haven't seen this much love in rooms, and since Narcissus found himself, he's looking in the mirror. He's like, that is the first thing I thought about.
I would really like a live action version of that movie. While we're doing all those animated movies, can we get that one, please?
Yeah, and what I would
While
love,
Danny DeVito is still around to play that man, can we get that movie,
Danny
please?
DeVito, and I'm 100% convinced Danny DeVito is the only person who can play Phil. I'm a
So,
thousand
like,
percent.
why he's still around and acting? Can we get that movie made, please?
And as much as I would love to say James Woods is the only person who can play Hades because
James
he's
Wood is
without
the
a
only. He's the only one that
James
can.
Woods is the only person who can play Hades, but I would love to see Goldblum give it a try because Hades was that like the sassy gay friend everyone has, and Goldblum literally embodies that personality.
Yeah, give me James Woods. I love Jeff Goldblum, but give me James
I
Woods.
love James Woods. Yeah, it's just like all the James Woods episodes in Family Guy.
Ooh,
All I
piece of
hear is
candy.
Hades.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh,
Ooh, piece
piece,
of candy.
ooh, piece of cat. James Woods high. Why do we
Ooh,
need the James
ooh,
Woods?
here you go. How about Henry Cavill for Hercules? That
I wouldn't
fits.
mind it. That would actually be kind of cool. Henry Cavill, but look, I'm biased. Henry Cavill can play in anything, and I'll watch it. I mean, I think they released the poster for the second season of The Witcher, which I still gotta watch the first season.
Yeah,
I
they
haven't watched.
announced the release date. Uh,
I think
when
it's
when was
December.
it? It was coming up.
I think it was December. I think I don't know. I saw December somewhere, and I think I'm just putting it on Witcher.
December 17th. Yeah,
Yeah,
because they had WitcherCon. That's what it was.
yeah.
There's a whole convention dedicated to it now.
But yeah, I mean, this show has it's great. I mean, it's everything I thought it would be, and everything I didn't know I wanted it to be.
So yeah, so speaking of the not, I didn't know that I wanted this to be like a spy thriller, but it's kind of turned into that, and
Yeah,
I'm all here for it.
I didn't think that was gonna be an aspect of this. I figured it would be like a Thor show, like just with the gods and all that like magic. I didn't think it was gonna be like this is like Double O Loki.
Exactly. Because so going further into episode 4, like you see them, they get taken back, and they're going to meet the timekeepers, which was the plan the whole time.
Yeah,
So you can see how this goes wrong. Uh,
yeah.
but like they get to meet the timekeepers, who when they first showed up, I was like, I mean, they look aight, but like
It was
it's not what I was expecting.
yeah,
And then like you have there's the whole fight scene. She breaks free, and then chops off the head of like the middle one, and then it's like an animatronic, and you're like, wait a minute. And then it becomes the Wizard of Loki, and it's like, okay, this is who we thought was in charge, and it's a robot.
yeah.
Which probably makes sense. Like they set that joke up the entire time
And
with,
there's some
"Are you a
don't
robot?
on the curtain.
Are you a robot? Or have you ever been a bionic?"
That is still the
What if I was a robot and I didn't know it?
that is one of my favorite parts when he goes to walk in. What if I was a robot? I didn't know it. Then you die. Am I a robot?
So like they've repeatedly made that joke about because they did it in the little flashback that you get to see of how Ravonna like took in the Sylvie when she was a kid,
Yeah,
and they did the whole same spiel. Are you a robot or have you ever been? And it's like they keep setting that up just to pay it off with the fact that the timekeepers are robots, which is why they're worried about robots.
yeah,
Um, but everybody looks confused, and even Ravonna kind of looks confused a little bit. But like, I'm not so sure.
yeah,
So that's kind of like weird. But that little thing's all gonna get sorted out here in this last episode, because we know if Ravonna knew it or not the entire time.
yeah,
But once they have that whole little scene, they get pruned, and then you find out that they don't actually die; they just get sent to the void. With the actual, like, the first post credit scene where you have you have Loki looking up at himself, and we get introduced to the best character in the show, Croaky, aka Florida Loki.
Can we acknowledge the original costume Loki that I never thought we would ever get?
Good old
And
classic
Richard
Loki.
Grant? That is Richard Grant, right?
Yeah.
Richard Grant as Loki, which was like Marvel got Richard Grant money? They have enough money to get Richard Grant dressed in green tights. That is not the amount. I didn't think anyone had that amount of money. But I love it.
Speaking of that, I remembered seeing the tweet that Richard Grant put out, and it said, "My late father asked me 4 decades ago, do you really want to spend your life in makeup and tights? At 64, this get up for Loki for Disney Plus would have made him cackle."
I love it.
And it shows him. It's like pictures of him like going through the process of getting in the suit and all this stuff. I just
That's
thought it was so funny.
that is awesome. But yeah, Crocodile Loki. I did you see the picture? I don't know if it's on I don't know what page it was on when I saw it, but I had Odin. He's like, I've been hiding this for you from years. I've been hiding this from you for years, my son. But I must tell you, you're adopted. And it's got the little alligator Loki cries, confused crocodile noises.
Oh my god, all of the yes,
I
all of
love it.
those. Oh god,
Marvel's doing
the
the Lord's
memes have
work.
been great for this.
Marvel's out here doing the Lord's work, giving us everything we could ever want. I
So
mean, we
going,
gotta.
so with that, we get to see episode 5 where they're in the void, and so we eventually get to see even more of the Lokis when they have that little fight scene.
Yeah,
Um, but we also get to see Throg trying to jump at the Mjolnir in the ground. That was hilarious. Uh, I think my favorite thing about the Void is all like the random little Easter eggs that were just like thrown there, where it was just
yeah.
like making fun of the fact that yeah, this happened, but we don't want to talk about that. That's
And it's
basically
kind of
all it was. So you had like at one point there was a yellow jacket helmet, like a really like a giant yellow jacket helmet, which I thought was kind of
yeah.
neat. You had the Thanos helicopter. That shit killed me.
I sat there. I looked. I was like, "Is that no?"
They put the Thanos helicopter in the MCU.
I love it. But can we acknowledge the fact that Marvel decided back in the day that for the villain's helicopter, it's just gonna say his name on the tail?
Hey, you got to know who it is from far away.
Yeah, but like, what's your escape plan? What are you
Helicopter.
gonna blend the Thanos copter in with other helicopters? Like, I wonder which one it is. No, I loved it. That was it was a little Easter egg that I never thought we would ever get. Like them just acknowledging, hey, this is something that happened. I loved it. I
There
loved
was
it.
also a what looked like the head of the Living Tribunal. I don't know if it was like an actual head or if it was just like the head off of a statue, but I thought
Yeah,
that was cool. You get to see. I love the fact that the since this is a place where all the things that weren't supposed to happen go, the Sphinx that was in here actually still had its like nose and everything, like it hasn't fallen apart yet. I thought that was funny. But they had like the pyramid and the
that nose needs
Sphinx.
to be gone.
There was there's another one that I want to get into that when we go into like what we want, like who we think is going to show up for episode 6, like who's going to be in the castle at the end. Um, oh god, what there was something else that I'm missing that I thought was hilarious. That was an Easter egg in there. Oh, what was it? Because like there was a bunch of stuff that was like littered all over the ground that I thought was just so funny. Oh, it was Red Skull, that little like helicopter plane thing
Yeah,
that he flew around in. They had one of those that was crashed. It looked like a little cigar with like a little spinny wheel around it. There was one of those in there. I thought that was kind of neat. Uh, but we go through. You see them have they enchant together. Because um, and family is the strongest thing there is.
I. Let's talk about that for a second. If I see one more of these Vin Diesel family memes, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I love how they've started to like loop over themselves like this quickly. They're starting to
I am
become
so,
meta jokes about themselves.
I am so tired of it. My brother sent me one that was it was from Zack Snyder's Justice League
Hmm.
when it shows the like the boom tube and you see Darkseid and they're all like, Dom, he's too dangerous or he's too powerful. He's like, nothing's more powerful than family. I
With the
am
shotgun.
tired of them. I did see a meme though that was funny. It was, I guess it's one of the promotional posters or something.
Hmm.
It's got him in front of the car. It's like nothing's more powerful than family. By the way, here's my brother. So yeah, but no, back.
But yeah, so we see the whole like the fight with Eliath at the end, um, and we get to see Richard Grant's classic Loki show off like how powerful he really is,
Yeah,
and
he
he literally like makes a hologram projection of the entirety of Asgard, which was wild.
it was it was beautiful. I mean,
And so they end up getting to enchant Eliath, and we get to see like the castle behind the smoke. Uh, and then that's where we're gonna pick up,
Wednesday.
for the final episode.
Yeah.
But who do you think is gonna be in the castle? Like, who do you think is the person like behind the curtain for that's been running the TVA and everything?
I don't even know who to choose because look, my automatic answer for anything that who do you think is doing Doctor Doom? That's my first answer for everything because I want it to be Doctor Doom so bad. But I understand that saying Doctor Doom would be incredibly dumb because there's not a prayer that it could be Doctor Doom. I don't know. I gotta
So I think that really and truly, in terms of the story, there's only like two episodes that kind of, or two, not, two characters that kind of make sense that we haven't
maybe
seen. So you have Kang, and then
yeah,
you
Kang.
have the one who remains.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you really have kind of like, you've got down to two options because somebody like there have been people who have said, "Oh, it looks like Doctor Doom's castle." It's like, yeah, cool, but like they're not going to introduce him in this.
No,
That's a
and I mean if
Fantastic
they
Four
do,
guy.
yeah, if they do, awesome. I'll hoot and holler. I'll be so glad. But it would, they would have to do a lot of explaining for it
Yeah,
to be
like
done.
that. They're not going to do
I
it.
mean,
So
like I said, as much as I would love for it to be Doctor Doom, I wouldn't buy it.
so
I would have much rather Doctor Doom have been the power broker.
yeah, that would have been. I kind of like that, but it's a neat way. Like having the Sharon Carter be the power broker is kind of like a neat way of.
Yeah, I did dig that.
And again, the power broker is really and truly a mantle that can doesn't have to be. So like they could use her to set up like the fact that this is how the power broker got started, and then later Doctor Doom just comes and just and then takes it
Yeah, it's not like a one. It's not like a
a one and done.
yeah, it's not like a Doctor Strange where it's like there's only one person who can be Doctor Strange, and that is Stephen Strange because that's his name.
Yeah.
It's not
Oh,
like
we're
a
using
like
our made up names. I'm Spider Man.
yeah, I love that. It's not like a Spider Man or a Batman or some who it could you can pick up that mantle. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. Kang sounds like a pretty good option. And
So
on the move.
I'm leaning Kang
Yeah,
because we know that he's supposed to be like they've already cast him.
yeah,
So that means that he's going to appear sometime.
yeah,
So we know that he's going to be a big bad that's going to show up. If you look, there was a you saw the Avengers Tower in the shot, but it
hmm
didn't say like Stark or have the Avengers A. It had the word Kang on it, like
yeah,
QENG, which is in the comics. Stark sells the tower to this Kang Industries, and it's a guy that literally is being played by Kang.
yeah.
So like he was not so subtle about it, but
He was subtle enough. He was
different
subtle enough.
spelling, but he wasn't so subtle. But it turns out it was Kang the whole time. So like it. I feel like it could be a nod to the fact that it's Kang, and maybe that's why he wanted just to like delete that thing. Is just like, oh, I don't want to put my. But
Yeah,
it could be like it's not going to be Kang. Here's the one where it's Kang. It's been thrown away.
Yeah, I mean that could be an Easter egg of look who's coming.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So
Marvel loves to do that.
I
But I
I'm
mean,
kind of leaning uh, for the one who remains, just because it makes more sense with the story,
yeah,
and then I would love to see that the fact that it was a Mobius that ended up being the one who remains,
yeah,
and that would be have like Owen Wilson and like old man makeup. That would be kind of cool.
that would be interesting to see. I
Um,
mean, I don't. I would lean on Kang, um, but I don't know. I mean, I this show has so many twists and turns. I mean,
yeah,
we
like
we we,
I
we can
won't know
say
until I watch
Kang.
it.
Yeah, we can say it can be Kang all day long. Knowing Marvel, and they're like, we're gonna pull the rug out from him. Tony Stark could be in the castle. Who
No, no,
knows?
Tony Stark not gonna be in
Yeah,
it.
I know. I'm just messing. But I'm saying
Now somebody voiced by Tony Stark, that would be kind of neat.
that would be so. But no, I mean, it could be literally anybody. We won't know until we watch it, and I'm excited to see. I'm this show has made me so happy with every single episode. I
Yeah,
doubt.
I didn't know I wanted this, but I'm so happy that I got it.
Oh, I knew I
So,
wanted this, but I didn't know I wanted this. But yeah, I'm excited. Wednesday is gonna be a very exciting day, all in all. Because
mhm.
we're gonna watch Black Widow Wednesday. We're gonna do the same thing we did with Justice League. My old roommate's gonna come over. We're gonna watch it and make a thing out of it. So that'll be that's gonna be fun. You said it was good, right?
Sure. I I mean, it's not the worst movie, but it's not the best movie in my opinion.
Yeah, my brother texted me or called me last night and was like, "Have you seen Black Widow?" I was like, "Not yet." I told him we're gonna watch it Wednesday. And he was saying something. I was like, "There's really one reason I'm watching this movie." And he was like, "Taskmaster." I was like, "Taskmaster." Because I mean, as much as I do love Black Widow as a character, I mean,
Hey,
if they would have, is like you had said last night, if they would have released this movie before Infinity War, but I'm more looking for Taskmaster. I mean, that's one character I've always loved, and
yeah, I think the movie would have played better before Endgame if it had
yeah,
come out before Endgame.
yeah,
But I mean, it is what it is.
yeah.
I
But
will say one thing before you see it.
okay,
If you thought the family memes were bad before,
are they
just
about to get
wait.
worse? Are they about to
Just
get
wait.
worse?
Yeah, as soon as that little spoiler ban hits and gets lifted, just wait.
Yeah.
Because I know we're still in the the no spoiler time for right now.
Yeah, I think they have like 5 days. I think that's usually the amount of time that they give is you have 5 days. If you ain't seen the movie by now, get ready for spoilers. I think that's what it was with Endgame. I can't remember though.
Yeah, I think with the movies, it's usually about a week.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean David Harbour, I like David Harbour. I didn't like him as Hellboy.
Oh, he's good.
That
I thought the main cast did excellent. It's just the rest of it that I was just going, eh.
yeah. I mean, but we're gonna watch it. I can't wait. I cannot wait for this. Well, I can't wait for the ending of Loki, but also I want it to keep going. But I know they have to end it. So, but
And just like Loki is coming to an end, it's time for
yeah.
this week's episode to come to an end.
Oh yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for sticking with us. These past couple weeks have been very hectic for us.
Yeah,
So we're gonna try and I think everything's pretty much passed. I know you're going out of town
next weekend. Yeah, like
next weekend.
I'll be out of I'll be out of town for like the whole week. I'll be in Orlando.
Okay.
But
So
but when we get back, we have everybody's favorite guest returning.
Yep.
talk about Black Widow and the ending of Loki.
Yep. I can't wait. I'm gonna put out. I watched The Long Halloween Part One, so I'm gonna put out a review of that sometime this week. And then I'll just do Part Two and do another episode that drops, I think, next week. So, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate you. Like I said earlier, sticking with us during this off little time. You know, we've had 38,000 things happening at once. We did not forget about you. We're working on a new management style because we're trying to get the podcast up and all that, and you know, I'm trying to get on it more, and it's a whole thing. But we're working
Behind
on
the
the
scenes
management
things are
style.
happening. Let's just
Yeah,
put
yeah, a lot of things are going on behind the scenes, and we got some plans for some new stuff. So just stay tuned for that. But if you have anything else more to add, my friend.
I'm just excited to see what happens with Loki. And
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to hear what you think of Black Widow. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a long two
I'll
weeks.
definitely text you Wednesday. I'll be shooting a text message to you Wednesday. Um, but yeah. So this was Nerds the Word. I am Josh.
I'm Jeff,
Thank you all for watching, and may the force be with you.
and this is the way.